Hi, I'm here with Kyle Johnson. He's a good friend and a Christian. As you know, our page is a Christian page, and we want to bring new things to stimulate and make people understand that they can do what God called them to do if they just put themselves available for. And I would like to introduce Kyle in a project that he does that I really appreciate. It's called Don't You Dare. But he's going to explain to you what Don't You Dare is and what he's doing. And I think you will really like it.
Awesome. So thank you, Monica, for having me here in this beautiful setting.
It's a
Doesn't it look
pleasure.
amazing? Wow.
Yes.
So Don't You Dare is basically a movement of motivation designed to equip, encourage, and empower people to find their purpose and be willing to count the cost of pursuing that purpose.
Right.
So to put that simply, I want to help people find their why and pursue their why.
Right.
I believe that everybody is here on the planet for a purpose, and when you find your why, then you can go out and find out what your what is that you need to be doing. So for me personally, it started probably 3 years ago,
Right.
2 years ago actually. We're watching the grand final of the rugby league here in Australia.
All right.
And my nephew he came in, they were getting their medals, the team that won. And he started crying. I said, "What's wrong? Like, why are you crying?" He said, "See that guy that just got his medal? I used to play rugby league with him in high school, and I could have been there getting a medal if I made different choices."
Oh, wow.
And it just got me thinking. I wonder how many other people are out there thinking exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Saying, if I'd made different choices, hung out with different people, had different decisions in my life,
Yeah.
I could have been up there doing that as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And do you mean that's more for young people, like for kids, teenagers, or you also work with adults?
Yeah, well, my passion is with teenagers. I like working with teenagers.
Yeah.
I think it's for all of us, really, for
Yeah.
adults as well.
Yeah.
But with teenagers, you ask a 12-year-old what they want to be when they grow up, and 95% of them can tell you what they want to be.
Yeah.
Even if it's not what they're going to be, they want to be an astronaut, a doctor, a superstar, whatever it is. But then fast forward 6 years to the end of high school, and 95% haven't got a clue what they want to do. They end up going off to university, getting student loans, getting a degree. They come out, don't even use the degree. And for some reason, in that 6-year period, they lose their way. Peer pressure, life knocking you down, family breakdown, whatever it is that causes them to lose that passion is suddenly taken away, and then suddenly they don't know what they want to do. They lose their imagination. You ask a child, their imagination is so big. And so like the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, whatever, like you can do anything.
Yeah.
But for some reason, by the end of their teenage years, they don't dream like that anymore. They don't have that
What do you
imagination.
think that happened? Did they get discouraged? Or?
I think they get discouraged, peer pressure from other teenagers saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" Particularly in Australia with the tall poppy syndrome. They're like, "What are you doing sticking your head up thinking you're better than everyone else? Just come back down here with us."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they just get the stuffing kind of knocked out of them, and the desire and the passion dies down, much like a fire at a campsite or something. If you don't keep putting wood on it, the fire eventually dies down and goes out. And I think that happens with a lot of our young people today.
And how do you approach these kids? How is your, how Don't You Dare, like a movement, works to motivate these kids? How's that?
So basically, there's 3 things that I cover in the Don't You Dare curriculum. It's resilience, character, and integrity.
Right.
So with resilience, it's that whole bounce back ability, the whole, even though life may knock you down, you get back up again. Like you don't lose a boxing match because you get knocked down. You lose because you don't get back up again.
True.
And so we've all had issues in our life and situations and circumstances where life has knocked us down. We've been set back. We've taken a blow. But the result of what you actually do out of that is more important to me than what actually happens to you.
Right.
So the first thing I say to teenagers when I go in is, what are the 3 hardest times in your life? Write them down, think about them. And they do that. And then I say, the fact that you can write them down or think about them tells me that you're already an overcomer. Because you've just told me the 3 hardest things in your life, but you're still here to tell the story.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and
That's
when
amazing.
you say that to a teenager, their eyes light up.
They realize
they do.
that
Maybe
they can change.
Maybe I'm not a loser. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm not this. Maybe I'm not that, because I've survived the 3 hardest things in my life.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so, yeah, I really believe, I mean, I've been through stuff personally as well. So a lot of the whole message is because of my experiences and what I've been through. And there have been times I've been looking, I've wanted to give up and I've wanted to quit. But yet something inside of me said, no, there's got to be more than that.
What is this thing inside of you?
Well, for me personally, it's my
Yeah.
relationship with Jesus. So
Yeah.
that's what's inside of me.
Yeah.
And
That's
so-
what I want to know.
Yeah,
How
totally.
was this movement inside you
Yeah.
that Jesus made so you could make a difference in other people's lives through your experience, through your knowledge, through your faith?
Yeah, well, totally. And I believe personally, like I believe my relationship with Jesus is 2 ways. It's like vertically, and then it's horizontally as well.
Right.
So my relationship with Jesus is very important to me, and it's something I'm constantly working on. I don't always get right, but I keep working on it
that's-
each and every day.
Yeah.
And then horizontally, my relationship with everybody that's around me. I want to be somebody who leaves a legacy. I don't want to just build a kingdom for
Absolutely.
myself. And so
I always say that about legacy. You know, what's the legacy that you are leaving to your kids?
Yeah.
To the future generations.
Totally. I came across this quote and I posted it on my Instagram the other day. It was, more importantly than the life you live is the life that you leave. And for me personally, that's really what's important to me, is that what's going to be here once I'm gone. What lives on once I'm gone.
Yeah.
And-
How will you be remembered?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think about it. How I will be remembered.
Yeah, pretty
You know?
much.
Will I be remembered?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I had a teacher, actually she was the principal of the school. She was
Yeah.
a very interesting lady. And she used to say there are 2 people in life.
Yeah.
One that makes the difference
Yeah.
and makes history.
Yeah.
And the one that just passed through history.
Yeah.
Which one would you like to be?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I'm the same. And it's interesting you bring up history, because to me, and we as believers, we get this, is that history is his story. And that's what it's all about. We get to be a part of his story, which is
That's interesting.
it's a phenomenal opportunity for us. What a privilege.
Yeah.
That out of all of time and everything that's gone before us, everything that's going to come out of us, we get to play a part. And so that's what I'm trying to encourage, particularly the young people. Like, don't take that lightly. What is your part that you can play?
Yeah.
You can make a difference in this world.
Yeah.
So then after the resilience factor, I talk about character. So to me, character is important. So it's don't you dare stay down, rise up, is resilience. But character is don't you dare settle, reach further. So many people settle, Monica. It's for whatever reason, they just settle. Like they've tried to do something and it didn't work out, or a relationship
And they
didn't
just
happen.
stop.
Yeah, they just stop and they just settle. One of the saddest verses in the Bible for me is found in Genesis, when it talks about Abraham, before he became Abraham, left from Ur of the Chaldeans to set off for the land of Canaan. But it says when they got to Haran, they settled there. And the very next verse says that after they settled in Haran, Terah died in Haran. And there's so many people that die in a place where they've settled. Their dreams die, their desire dies, their passion dies, and they just settled.
And what do you do to rise these expectations again, the dream again? How is the practical work? Do you go to schools and talk to schools, or do you approach them? How do you approach the kids?
Yeah, so basically I contact schools. Like I personally just want to, in everyday life, I want to inspire people just walking around.
Yeah.
But on the Don't You Dare side of things, I approach schools and say, here's my curriculum. Here's what I teach about. I think it's something that's very important to school children.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in having me come and do a seminar, do a whole day's training, do a year-long course? Like, the curriculum's designed in a way that it can, whatever the school's requiring, I can adjust it.
If you are in a school now and you have the power to change things and to teach kids about character, about leadership, about not settling for, the basics, but really make history. So you can contact Kyle.
Yeah.
And Kyle, would you like to give your contacts?
Yeah, totally. I can give my contacts. So we're having a bit of an email issue at the moment, but that's fine. But you can still contact me at Gmail. Kyle Terrence Johnson, that's TERRENCE Johnson @gmail.com, or my phone number. Can I give that out as well? Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're out there, if you just want to chat, give me a call. Yeah, no problem. So 0432 200 665. 0432 200 665.
We normally don't do that,
Yeah.
but I think this is something that works because of all the issues that we've been seeing in schools,
Yeah,
the
totally.
bullying and the suicide.
It's just
this
crazy.
is a time of suicide preventing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
totally.
So
So-
how are you working with that?
Well, I think that, suicide, nobody wakes up, goes to bed sleeping, feeling fulfilled, and then wakes up in the morning and thinks, I'll commit suicide today.
It's a progression.
Like, there's a progression that's in there, and a lot of these issues that we're discussing are reasons because of that. Because life has knocked the stuffing out of them, because of a family breakdown, because of bullying, because of peer pressure, because of all of this stuff, they just, they get to a point where they feel like they're hopeless.
Yeah.
I want to give people hope, because when you lose your hope, you're hopeless. You have no hope.
Yeah.
So when you feel like you can't go on anymore, what a sad place that is for a human to be. When we were never created, we were never designed to live like that.
Yeah.
And yet people get in that total utter despair, that place where there's no way out.
Yeah.
When I want to come along and say, look, it may not be the best situation right now, but there is a way out.
Yeah.
There is hope.
It will be fantastic when we can see more and more children, more teenagers, like we've been seeing in your program, that have joy back.
Oh, totally.
Because joy is really the principle of life.
Yeah, totally.
Because that makes you think positively. It makes you think in a higher way.
Yeah, totally.
And in the Bible says, the joy of the Lord is my strength.
It's my strength, yeah.
And that's what will bring hope to your life.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And very interestingly, I'm sorry for Pharrell Williams if you're watching this, but the difference between happy and joy is massive for me.
Yeah.
Happiness is very circumstantial.
Yeah.
If I'm having a good time, I'm happy.
Yeah.
If I'm having a bad time, I'm sad.
Yeah.
And it's very circumstantial based on what I'm going through. But joy is something that I can have inside of me, even if the circumstances are not the best.
Absolutely.
I can still have joy.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's very important to me. There's so many people that say, I just want to be happy. If I had that house, I'd be happy. If I had money, I'd be happy. If I had this, I'd be happy. It's not about happiness.
But the inner joy is something else.
Totally.
I feel like only the Lord can give you that inner joy.
Yeah, totally.
That sparkling back this hope, sparkling back life.
Oh, it's completely.
Yeah. So we would like to leave you with this message of hope, joy, and life, and hope your kids will have this joy, hope, and life, and you also. What's the legacy that you are leaving to your kids? He's a dad, and he's giving this legacy to his son.
Yeah.
And think about it. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Bless you.
Thanks, Kyle.